story bots. What is that square that you are eating? It is called a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Squares, 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 squares. See them here and see them there. Squares, 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 squares. Squares are everywhere. A checkerboard is a square. A hopscotch cork is made of squares. This cracker is shaped like a square. Squares are everywhere. Can you roll your balloons here in the shape of a square? Oh, yes you can, but you've got to take some care. And you must beware that some people might stare.
Looky there.
If your noodle's hair is square,
My waffle is completely square, and it is made up of many tiny squares. Please pass that square out butter.
squares, 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 squares. See them here and see them there. Squares, 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 squares. Squares are everywhere. Squares are everywhere.
Squares are everywhere.
Squares are everywhere.
There are lots of good tasting things that are square. Yum, 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 yum.
Hello students, today we are going to work with squares. I can identify and draw a square. A square has 4 equal sides and 4 corners. Squares. Now I'd like for everyone to get out a piece of paper and a crayon, and we are going to practice drawing squares. I'm going to begin with a line that comes down just like that. And then I'm going to add a second line just like that. Now I'm going to add a line on the top that reaches to about there, and then I'm going to connect them with another line. Because remember, we have to always connect our shapes. If we don't, they aren't shapes but just lines. I'm going to practice another square the same way, and I'd like for you to practice on your paper and see how many different squares you can do. And if you mess up and it ends up not looking like a square, it's okay. Just try again. We're all just learning, and sometimes it just takes some practice. If I'm drawing a square and my lines don't meet up, is that a square? Nope. All 4 corners have to connect for it to be a square. I'm going to fill up my paper with many different sizes of squares. And I look forward to seeing all the different squares that you'll make. Drawing is sometimes very difficult, but all we can do is try our best and try to make straight lines that connect and have 4 corners, and that will make a square.
Hi, my name is McKenna, and I'm an elementary education major at Indiana Wesleyan University. Today we're going to read Square Cat by Elizabeth Shoemaker. Have you ever felt a little different from your friends, or maybe even your family? Maybe you looked a little different, or you had different talents? That's okay. We want to celebrate those differences. As I read, pay attention to the differences between Square Cat and her 2 round cat friends. Look for ways that they made her feel valued and accepted, just the way we should make others feel who are different from us. Eula was a square cat. She longed to be round like her friends Patsy and Maud, but Eula was a square cat. Life wasn't easy for a square cat. Mouse holes were impossible, and when Eula tipped over, it was hard to get back up. Eula was invisible in the city, and her favorite circle skirt didn't quite fit right. Red shoes made her look short, and stripes were just plain wrong. Up and down and back and forth, Eula wasn't happy as a square cat. So unhappy She lost her purr. Patsy and Maud tried to make Eula feel round. They gave her hoop earrings and a beehive hat. Patsy painted a red rose circle on one of Eula's cheeks. Maud painted the other cheek. All together, Patsy, Maud, and Eula rounded their lips and sang, "Oh!" while they skipped in circles eating donuts. Eula began to feel round until she tripped and tipped over, which, as you know, is not good for a square cat. That gave Patsy and Maud an idea. They each slipped into a box. And they became square cats just like Eula. They showed Eula that a checkerboard sweater with a pillbox hat looks dazzling on a square cat, and how a painting of a square cat is priceless. As for mouse holes, they're impossible for all cats, round or square. Eula was surprised. She didn't know that. Patsy and Maud showed Eula that square cats are easy to stack, are natural billboards, and excellent square dancers. Eula jumped with joy, tipped, and got stuck, like always. Patsy and Maud jumped and tipped too, and got stuck next to Eula. Stuck flat on their square backs, the three cats gazed into the blue sky. Only a square cat could have this view. Eula purred. Patsy and Maud smiled. The end.
Now we're going to practice drawing Eula, the square cat, from the story we just heard. You should get out another sheet of paper or turn the other paper over so you have a nice blank space to work with, and a crayon, and we're going to practice drawing squares with Eula the cat. I'm going to begin with a blank piece of paper, and I'm going to use a marker so it shows up better, but you can begin with a crayon. And I'm going to make a square, the same as I made before on our practice sheet of paper. I'm going to start with a line that comes down, then another line that connects, that goes across, and another line at the top. And then what do I need? That's right, I need another line that comes down and connects, so I have 4 sides and 4 corners, because that makes a square. And I'm going to add triangles at the top, like we learned about the other class, for her ears. 2 little triangles. And I'm going to make a shape that looks like this for one paw, and a shape that looks like that for the second paw. Now, her square tail is a little bit tricky, but we're going to do it step by step. I'm going to start with a line that goes off like that at the bottom. And then I'm just going to go up about halfway from my square, and then I'm going to go in a little bit. So it's just 3 lines like that. Then I'm going to come down just a little bit more. Now I'm going to go back down to the bottom and make another line. And then up a little bit. And then across. And then down. Almost there. I'm going to come in a bit with that line. And then up a little bit. And then a connecting line. And there we have Eula's square tail. I'm going to make her eyes like this, but you can make her eyes however you like. I wonder how she's feeling in your drawing. I'm going to make a line that comes down and curves at the bottom for her nose. And then 3 whiskers on each side. And there we have Eula the square cat. Now it's time to add color. And I'd like you to try to color in carefully and take your time. Try to cover up as much of the white space as possible. I can't wait to see all the details you've added to your drawing. Thanks so much for drawing with us today.